Yeah, YouTube, it's finally here, the WPL C64-1. I'm sort of quite impressed with it so far. All new links underneath, all ball joints, hopefully you can see. There's a space for a WPL winch. You take, unscrew that, the WPL winch will screw straight in. You'll need aftermarket or electronics or ESC and receiver, or the res-free combination one from WPL. But yeah, axle on, or servo on axle, for hopefully better steering. Seems to have got rid of. Hey YouTube, future me. One thing that or a couple of things I forgot to mention actually. On the wheel hexes, we actually have metal hexes now, and metal dog bones out the front. One problem with the metal dog bones is they actually cause it to bind. So yeah, that's not actually very good. I mean, yeah, it's good that we've got a metal upgrade to dog bones, but the binding, that's something else. I mean, you can alleviate it a bit by turning the steering dual rate down, because you've got the high and low. And that's enough. That's about the limit of the dog bone travel. But it does give you actually quite a poor turning circle, more so one way than the other. So yeah, that's one thing that I haven't seen other videos reviewing this talking about yet. But yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there, and still think it's a good model. Like most of these at this price point, they do need a bit of tinkering and fettling. So yeah, just something to bear in mind. Yeah, so full steering. Yeah, especially when you do try and drive it to the right, it binds up absolutely terribly. And then if you turn the dual rate down, much smoother. But then you have a rubbish turning circle. So, good turning circle and binding like crazy, or sort of relatively smoothly running, and naff turning circle. So I think the WPL metal axles would probably cure all that, but anywho. Yeah. Not oil, but adjustable shocks. Hopefully you can see underneath there. All new plastic links, like I say, on ball joints. I believe it's the 270 motor, which might not be the strongest, but it does at least have counter-rotating drive shafts. Scale interior and stuff. I believe that the ESC board comes with the outlets for all the optional lights and stuff you can get for the D12 or the D series. So it's pretty much plug and play, I believe. I've not bothered putting the accessories on this one yet because I fully intend painting it up. I'm not entirely sure what colour to go yet, but it will go a colour. It's got the wheels from the C64 with the little hubcaps to hide the screws in the middle. I believe it is a revised chassis on it. Comes with all the light buckets ready for LEDs and stuff. But yeah, let's first look at it. The interior looks quite decent. I mean, it's a sea of black until you paint it, but that is part of the point of these, is the upgrades and customising them. This does come with a drag brake now on an RTR, which is cool. Which that enables and disables your drag brake. Your steering dual rate, I believe, is set to its full extent to start with, and then the motor's quite whiny. I haven't actually tried driving it yet, but seems to have some modulation. But yeah, so that's a fairly close look of what you're going to get out of the box. Comes with a little baby 500 milliamp battery. Just tucked away in there. Clips in place. I think to get a bigger battery you'll probably have to snap these off or cut these off. But I don't suppose that's much of a problem. The bigger battery should fit across the way there. But yeah, the battery, unlike the D64, is a little bit further forward and at least above the axle. So it hasn't got all the battery weight in the awkward place underneath at the back. These panels at the back, they just clip off. So they're sort of interchangeable. You could put the narrower arches on if you wanted. Makes it a bit easier for painting, I guess, but you're going to unscrew the entire body to paint it anyway. Yeah, I can't really think of much more to say about it at the moment. It's a typical English summer day at the moment, so inevitably it's raining. So best I can do is maybe try a little bit of run footage in the house, test out the drag brake and see how good the flex is. The shocks were wound all the way down, which made the suspension a bit firm, but made it sit really high. So I've wound them up a bit to make it sit a bit more of a scale height. But yeah, we'll have a quick little bit of run footage in the house, and then when the weather's better, we'll take it out and have a proper trial with it at some point. I don't know that it was with the drag brake on or off then. Yeah, I'm guessing the drag brake was off because it's holding itself. So yeah, the drag brake is actually quite decent on it. Foul. Okay, so it's got about 3 wheels of flex, which actually ain't too bad for a stock RTR. Anyway, I'm going to end that there. Please like and subscribe, and sort of thank you for watching, and I shall catch you next time. Bye for now.